Have you ever realized, at session 0, when everyone's introducing their characters, bringing them to the table, man, a lot of us are orphans, or don't have families for some reason. Yeah, that's a pretty common stereotype. It makes sense. I mean, if you have a family, to care about, to tie you down, why are you gonna go out into the wilderness, risk your life on some adventure? Got a family to take care of, dude. But hey, this is a fantasy game, we can do whatever we want, it's Dungeons & Dragons, so what if you want to play a character who's a dad? Without further ado, here are my concepts for every class as a dad. What if you want to make a paladin, and you thought, you know what, my paladin needs a family? Well, there's a few things we can look at for that. First example I actually thought of from media is Brave Lee, a character from Bravely Default. This guy is Adia Lee's dad. The father of one of the main party members in the group. He's also a pretty major antagonist in the game, but hey, I actually really liked Bravely Default. He's a pretty good character in my opinion, you should go play it. Anyways, my concept was a little bit different from this guy. Paladins are defined by the fact that they have sworn a sacred oath, which they uphold to the highest standards, and this oath has impressed or caught the recognition of some deity out there and decided, hey, this guy's, he's pretty cool. Let's give him some superpowers to help him, maintain this oath that he's formed. This paladin that we're looking at has taken the oath of devotion. He has sworn an oath to protect his family from the evils of the world. Everything that he does is for the ultimate protection and betterment of his family. You might think, hey, if this guy's all concerned about his family, what's he doing on an adventure all by himself? I don't know. Maybe the rest of the party is his family members. Wouldn't that be cool if, everyone in the party was just like your brother or your sister, all part of the same family? That'd be a fun campaign to do. But if you're not doing that very specific campaign party composition, then I actually thought of another way. A good motivation for this character would have something to do with their family. Maybe they see the major antagonist or big bad evil guy or some, big villain in your campaign as a threat to their family, and they set out on a quest to defeat it before it could cause any harm. Maybe the local lich is stirring up trouble and this paladin says, you know what, I don't want that thing anywhere near my family, let's go on a quest to kill it. Next, we've got the warlock. I couldn't think of any examples in media of a warlock dad because, examples of warlocks in media aren't super common to begin with, but if you think of any, hit me up, I guess. Anyways, for this example, I thought it'd be cool if this warlock was a warlock of the fiend. At some point in his life, this dad made a pact with a wicked fiend in exchange for power. He used this power to take care of his family for a long time, keeping them safe from the dangers of the world, maybe stray monsters that wandered too close to his home. But he had to keep this power a secret. If you found out your neighbor had made a deal with the devil and, was siphoning power from another plane of existence, you might be a little bit concerned, right? So he kept this, deal a secret until eventually he was found out. Once his secret was found out, he was forced into exile for colluding with a fiend. This could actually be like a really good hook for this character to get them into the campaign. Maybe they feel like they need to do something big to redeem themselves or earn the trust of their community or their family back after, their secret about making the deal with the fiend was exposed to everyone. I think it could be a really cool, concept to play with. Next, let's take a look at the druid. The only example I could find of like a druid dad was Maui, but then I remembered that Maui isn't Moana's dad. Like, they're not even related, at least in the movie. But, anyways, you could tweak that if you want to use a concept like that. But for my character that I thought of this farmer type character. He raises his family on the farm. He learns some druidic magic to help grow crops. Spells like druidcraft, ability to predict the weather would actually be super helpful for growing up on a farm. And get him into a campaign. Maybe all of his children just grew old, moved off, and adventuring is his retirement plan. This kind of like older guy who decided, you know what, I'm going to go travel the world and slay monsters until the day I die. That could be fun. Or maybe there's some kind of disaster that wiped out his farm and he has to go find some other way to make the gold to take care of his family. That could work pretty good too. Now we've got the cleric. This dad that I designed is a cleric of Ilmater, a forgotten realm's god of the oppressed and the suffering. This dad taught his family to always help people who were suffering at any chance they got, and when his oldest son was old enough to take care of the family for a while, he left on a quest to show this principle by example. Basically, he just, teaches his family to do good, and then he's like, I should, show them how to do good, so he leaves on a quest to do good. Real nice and simple. Ilmater's domains are Life and Twilight. So you could, take this build and run with the Twilight domain that was just introduced in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. You could go either way with this guy. Honestly, this concept's a great way to just get a cleric introduced into the campaign, give him a nice, backstory and some morals and ideals if you don't want to carry too much baggage with you. He's a guy. He wants to help those in need. He wants to set an example for his family. He's a simple man. Now let's take a look at one of my personal favorites, the Barbarian. I mean, I couldn't think of any examples of barbarian dads in media, but I don't know. I guess like anyone who just gets really angry and has children, boom, you got a barbarian dad. The first thing I thought of was actually this dad with really bad anger issues who just like enters a barbaric rage when his kids don't do the dishes or something. Thought that would be funny. Comes home from work, he's like, didn't I tell someone to put the groceries away? Rah! Yeah, anyways, that would be fun, but then I thought, I have a better idea. So the idea that I thought of is this dad who cares deeply for his family. It's the most important thing in the world to him. This deep love he has is what fuels his barbaric rages. His rages aren't some kind of wild fury, but a flaming determination to fight for his family. If you want to see some real rage, see if the campaign villain could have captured or killed one of this character's family members. That'll be more motivation than he'll ever need to join the adventure. I really like this concept. The barbarians are kind of the class who get labeled as, dumb, hit stuff guys. This one just makes him real sympathetic and gives him some real strong motivations and makes his barbaric rages less of a hissy fit or a temper tantrum and more of this dramatic character motivation point. I really like it. If I run a barbarian, I think I might do something like this. And the last one we have is a bard. This dad loves music. He was going to try and become a star, and he totally could have hit Hollywood, but he decided to settle down and start a family instead. That's what he tells everyone. He always used to tell his children bedtime stories until one day he straight up ran out of stories to tell. So he sets out on a journey to collect some more stories. This backstory is a little bit sillier than the rest. I think it would work well for things like one-shots or smaller scale adventures. I mean, typically you don't think a guy like this would just go up and leave his family for a year or something. But I don't know, what if the quest is like there's a plague in town and someone needs to go find a cure? This dad's like, okay, I'll do it. It gives him the motivation to take care of his family, and hey, he can tell his kids the tall tales and the stories of what happened when he gets home. Saying, oh yeah, we had to fight a giant rat, and there was this crazy monster that came out and fought us. He would have bedtime stories for days to tell his children. It would be great. Much like the cleric character that we ran through. This one's a simpler man, but I like him. Well, my voice is getting dry after that. Well, I've got 6 more character concepts to share with you guys, the other 6 classes from the player's handbook, but we'll save those for next time because, I don't know, I'm just kind of getting into this whole thing. Let me know what you thought of the video of any of these character concepts, and leave your own ideas in the comments. One thing I thought would be cool is if you got like a group of these characters, they were all dads. It was like, the after work bowling club or something who all decided to go on an adventure. You got the cleric character and the warlock character and this paladin. They're all going together. They're all just like the dad's club adventuring together. That would be funny. Anyways, in our next video, we'll go after the extra classes, the ranger, the fighter, the wizard. I am excited about some of those, so stay tuned until next time. Bye.